Hello, today I want to tell about the model that I really liked using, but sometimes in the audiophile community people just hate them. But the main secret is that Bose QuietComfort 45 headphones are not created for the audiophiles. So let's make this review shorter for probably part of the audience. If you're looking for model with best audio performance, related to the price, it's definitely not a model for you, and you can just close the tab with this review and we'll see you. I'll be glad to see you in the next review. But if you okay with getting not the best but just normal sound performance and instead trading it for some good features that this model offers, it can be a really unique model of headphones for you. And in this review I'll try to tell about that positive moment that I really liked. So, before, based on that full of hatred comments on the forums and stuff, I was pretty skeptical about Bose sound quality, but then I auditioned one of their sound bars in the local high-end video saloon. And I was impressed by the sound quality because it did a really good job in that computational audio. Then I reviewed their Bose QuietComfort earbuds and I was pretty much impressed both by the level of comfort and active sound isolation and actually pretty good sound quality, and I'm still actively using that model. So I was interested in reviewing full-size headphones to find out myself, are they that bad or not, and appeared that they are not that bad. Price is $330, which makes them kinda premium, but in this review I will try to tell why it's so. And actually let's have a closer look. They came in a pretty simple black cardboard box with a white stripe with some basic information and images. You have to break the seal at the bottom part and then you can get inside. And inner part of this box is also pretty simple. You're getting some manuals and quick start guide, and that's pretty much it. Actually, minimalism is a key driver for the Bose. You're getting nice storage pouch, which is pretty good for carrying headphones everywhere with you. It's almost as compact as it could be for the full-size headphones, and it protects the internals well. Of course, playing football with this case is not a good idea, but it will protect your headphones somewhere in the backpack or in the travel case. And inside you'll get headphones folded many times and two cables, so 3.5 millimeter to connect them to something with 3.5 millimeter socket, and USB Type-C for charging, and that's it. So accessory set is also pretty basic. And speaking about the charge, actually it's one of the strong part of this model. From single charge it will work for 24 hours. Depending on the volume you're listening at, you can actually get even up to 25. At my comfortable level I'm getting 24 and half or even more. With active noise cancelling on, in my opinion it's a pretty good result. And they support quick charge. I don't remember exact figures, something like 15 minutes of charging gives you 3 hours of work time or something like that. Headphones are built mainly of plastic, and that makes them really lightweight. I don't know exact figure, probably I should have googled it before, but it's really featherweight, especially comparing with AirPods Pro Max, for example, but it's a difference in the build materials, of course. Here you're getting plastic, and in headband this plastic is reinforced with glass fiber material to be more sturdy and reliable. And AirPods Pro Max, it's actively using metal. Headband is really soft and it distributes volume really evenly. They have a proper clamping force, it's not too heavy pushing your head from sides, but at the same time not too soft, so they stays on your head really reliably. They have really good amount of adjustment, so it will accommodate nicely even pretty big heads, so won't be an issue here. And my about average size head fitting in this size. They are created to be your good traveling companion. You can fold them this way and carry everywhere. You can rotate them flat and carry them on your neck. So all that scenarios are present here, meaning that they will try to occupy as less space as possible. And cups are pretty comfortable in terms of wearing. They have soft pads. My ears are fitting nicely, and most probably most ears will fit here well. Of course, every 2 hours also or so you have to take a break because otherwise your ears will be overheating a little bit. But it's common for all closed back headphones, it's typical for them. You can see the markings of left and right one, and in general it's the model that is very comfortable in the daily wearing, even in the long sessions, so it's a good model for daily commute, for travels, for taking them into the office, and of course active noise cancelling is helping here really much, because active noise cancelling is the best in this model, the best one I've experienced. It's good with low frequency noise, but even with high frequency noise, even with some random ones, they doing a really good job in minimizing it. Sometimes, I getting a bit shocked when, for example, music, some album overs, and I'm sitting in the quiet in these headphones for a few minutes in the quiet environment without listening to something, and then I take them off. I'm sometimes a bit shocked with that amount of environment noises, that clicks and some other things that goes around me. But it's really good in the office or at home, but on the street it's better probably to avoid that amount of noise cancelling, because you can easily get into some accident. Another the strong part, it's noise cancelling with microphone. I will add the test, but I can only test them now in the quiet environment, because I can't go out and record something with street noise around me, because it's too late to do this. But in general, even when you walking the street with pretty active traffic, you'll be pretty audible. And in terms of controls, here is button that toggles between transparent and noise cancelling mode, and transparency mode is also done nicely here, and 3.5mm input if you want wired connection. Here is charging port and traditional 3 buttons for play, pause, volume change and tracks navigation, and here is on off switch, so this way it's off, in the middle it will be on, and pushing it forward activating pairing mode. They have a voice assistant that you can turn off if you'd like, but actually it's not too obtrusive. And in terms of connection quality, they hold connection really well. They support Bluetooth 5.2, and they support multi-point connection. You can control it with application, but in general you can connect to a few devices and switch between them. Probably that's all about this part. So it's Bose decided not to use some premium materials here or something like that, but at the same time they managed to create a really comfortable model that is that feels really solid and is really good as a travel companion or model for everyday usage. Here is a traditional microphone test. I am recording this part of the video using the headphones built-in microphone. I won't apply any gain correction or equalization, so this part will give you an idea of how their microphones sound. Here is a companion app, Bose Music. I showed it to you in my review of Bose QuietComfort earbuds, but it's used for this model too. It doesn't have much usage with this model because the amount of settings is really basic. You can change volume, you can see the battery charge remaining, you can manage sources that these headphones know and reconnect them. You can see some tips about mode and controls. In the settings you can select sound modes. Actually, should it remember or not, there are just two modes. And you can select amount of how much your own voice you'll hear during phone calls. It's really great feature that allows you to hear yourself through that active noise cancelling. Otherwise you'll be screaming too much from time to time. And also power management, it's just amount of time before shutdown, and you can change the language of voice prompts. And here you can also change volume, select one of two sound modes, sources and tips, that's it. So not a lot of features, just basic ones, but in my opinion the main usage of this application of course is firmware update, because time to time Bose release it and it's nice to update, to keep them up to date. In terms of sound quality, it's somewhere in between the being absolutely perfect and that hateful reviews. It's just normal. It seems to me that Bose created the overall sound tuning of this model to accommodate what I'd probably called business features, because they have boosted up middle mids, upper mids and lower treble, probably to get to make voice cleaner, more crisp, and make them a better choice for some voice call. But in general they show the good resolution for the full-size Bluetooth headphones, and they are not too bass boosted or something like that. So bass is almost linear, it goes to maximum depth that is allowed by Bluetooth codecs. There is no attempt to reconstruct deeper bass, but still they have normal impact and have normal weight. Of course, there won't be perfect texturing, there won't be that saturated overtones or something like that. It's just a clean normal bass for the full-size headphones, pretty well suiting both acoustic instruments and electronic music, but not for those who want some boosted or bass-heavy representation too. But for example, actually I pretty enjoyed this track by Hugh, Laurie, Battle of Jericho. This track has really deep hitting drum notes, not super deep bass, but goes towards the depth direction. And these headphones play it nicely, clean and not bloated, not too weighty, not too softened or something like that. So of course, comparing with some wired headphones, it's lacking a bit of that tightness, but still sounds pretty familiar and it sounds in the way I expected. Mid frequencies probably is the strongest part here. Resolution is good for the Bluetooth, normal in general, but of course not trying to be focused on the micro contrast, except of the upper mids, because upper mids region is accented and that gives sometimes a slight hint of additional aggression, but with just few tracks. Voices sound clean and actually even highlighted crisp. Sometimes it's even over crisp, especially with female vocals, but after some usage I found it pretty engaging. Three-dimensional stage is slightly above average both in width and in depth, so they're not trying to be super spacious, but still they manage to build a normal realistic stage. Of course, they're not critical for the quality of records, they're not trying to be some critical listening model, but it's something that you can definitely expect from the Bluetooth headphones. And example, actually, it's Queen Innuendo. It pretty complicated track that requires, of course, wired connection to unveil full potential, but I enjoy listening to it, especially flamenco part, because that slight hint of extra crispness helps strings sound even more saturated and rich. And treble, actually, it's just normal treble with normal resolution, slightly above average extension, but of course limited by Bluetooth codec. Not sound too harsh, except of that boost in the lower mid area, but to my ears it stays still well controlled. Don't expect some rich layering or something like that, but it's also really common for the Bluetooth headphones. And as an example, it's another pretty complex track that requires wired connection in general. It's Tom Sawyer by Rush, but percussion sounds, sound okay, not great, but okay. Wired connection improves extension on both ends, but doesn't change sound drastically, so I can call it like night and day difference or something like that. And speaking about the compressions, actually I don't have other Bluetooth headphones for compression. Apple AirPods Pro Max is better, but they are like 2 times more not 2 times, but noticeably more expensive, so it's probably the expected result with you getting, especially if you are in the Apple ecosystem, you're getting better integration with all the devices, you're getting slightly better treble performance, and you're getting spatial audio with all that 3D effects. For me, it's also a pretty nice thing to have. And actually, in my opinion, Bose could address part of the critics by adding equalizer in the application, at least some basic one. I don't know why they didn't give user control over that, because actually active equalization is used here. They adjust volume. They adjust equalizer based on the volume. If you heard about Fletcher-Manson curves, you probably understand the idea. But think that at different level of volume we hear different frequencies differently. Sorry, too many different words here. And to get the proper perception of the sound with rising volume, you need to equalize the sound, and these headphones do that. So why they didn't give users control over equalizer, I don't know, because with equalizer some people can boost low frequencies a bit more and you can reduce treble, for example. But if you have some good player like this, you can actually use built-in equalization features and adjust the sound better. But in exchange, you're getting a really good quality of voice during the calls, you're getting good wearing comfort, you're getting really long battery time, and state-of-the-art active noise cancelling. So really good model for travel, daily commute, use in the office, and so on. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a nice day.